On November 29, 1970, a father and his two young daughters were hiking through a valley outside Bergen, Norway, a place locals call Death Valley, and they found a woman's body, burned almost beyond recognition. Lying alone among the rocks, her face had been burned away. Every label on every piece of clothing had been deliberately cut out. The bottles near her body had their labels scraped off. Even her fingerprints had been sanded down to nothing. Bergen police launched a full investigation. They traced her movements across Norway using hotel records. And what they found made absolutely no sense. She had checked into hotels across Norway, under at least 8 different names. Genevieve Lancier, Claudia Tielt, Vera Jarl, Alexia Zarn-Merchez. None of them real, all of them backed by forged passports. Hotel staff remembered her as calm, well-dressed, and methodical. She changed rooms multiple times per stay, paid only in cash. And after every meal, she wiped down the surfaces around her and removed her fingerprints from every glass she touched. 2 suitcases belonging to her were found at Bergen railway station, and inside were multiple wigs, clothing with every label removed, and a coded notepad written in a cipher nobody could read. Investigators eventually cracked the cipher. It mapped her movements across 14 European cities over 8 months, but gave no reason, no contact names, and no destination. It was 1970. Bergen was not a random city. It was home to Norway's largest naval base, where a secret missile system called the Penguin was being developed. Norwegian secret police confirmed that foreign spies were actively operating there at that exact time. 5 days before her body was found, a local professor passed her on a mountain hiking path. She was dressed for the city, not for hiking. 2 men in overcoats followed behind her at a distance. She looked at the professor as if she wanted to say something, and then she didn't. He kept walking. So did she. Norwegian police closed the case in early 1971, just weeks after the discovery. They officially ruled it suicide, even though the forensic evidence showed she had been given a fatal overdose of sleeping pills before the fire was set. And even though one of the investigators said the scene looked, in his own words, like a ceremony. In 2023, a fact-checker working with a Swiss newspaper produced a 100-page memo linking the Isdal Woman to a Nazi-allied Swiss banker named François Genoux, a man who had spent decades financing Palestinian terrorism and moving operatives across Europe using forged Belgian passports. Scientists from the University of Canberra used isotopic analysis on her preserved teeth and determined she grew up somewhere along the French-German border, then moved west toward France in her early teens, most likely just before or during World War II. She is buried in Mollendal Cemetery in Bergen in a zinc coffin, preserved deliberately, sealed carefully in case someone who recognizes her ever comes forward. Nobody has. Not in 55 years. 55 years later, no name, no country, no family, no answer. And every supposed breakthrough leads to a new question that nobody can resolve. Somewhere out there, there is a family who lost a daughter, a sister, maybe a mother, and they may never know where she went or why. She has no name, but she has a grave. And someone to this day keeps leaving her flowers. Subscribe to the 6th Continent. Because history is full of people like her, and someone should tell their story.